T-Man 978 Chill Review. Hello everyone, T-Man 978, and my channel is like a box of crazy laced chocolates because you never know what you're gonna get. And what you're getting right now is a comparison crossover review between a Cobra Viper and a Decepticon Viper. And if nothing else, you'll be able to see the value of a toy that you used to get 5 years ago compared to a toy that you get now that should relatively be about the same price. Like if this was released 5 years ago, they would have been around the same price point. But you're going to be able to see what you get nowadays compared to what you used to get. Anyway, let's look at their packaging. Here is Decepticon Viper. You see that image of him right there. He's part of Transformers Combiner Wars, so he's supposed to combine with Galvatronus. He doesn't actually combine with him. He turns into a gun. He can be held by the other characters. And on the back, it's very lackluster. You get a one-sentence bio right there because all of the multilingual stuff right there. And it says, quick strike attack drone who can take a pounding and keep flying. So basically they're encouraging army building because he's supposed to be a drone. Unfortunately, even though you can see, well, I'll talk about it more in the opening. Well, not after I open it, I mean. But, yeah, it says dead and sold separately, like you wouldn't know that. And right now we have this Cobra Viper. Here's some nice artwork right there. I wanted this guy because he had a nice chrome helmet. I think I had another one of these, but it didn't have a chrome helmet, and I definitely like this. The Cobra Viper was part of the Pursuit of Cobra desert battle mission anyway. And as you can see, this guy has a ton of things to read right there. So you can pause and read it. Here's his long bio right there. It even has a card you can cut out right there, which is nice. But you can see he's number 1119. And like I said, this was released in 2010. But, okay. Let's get these guys out of packaging so we can see what they do. Here's the Decepticon Viper's packaging without him in the way. Nice. And here is the Cobra Viper's packaging. As far as contents, Decepticon Viper came with this collector's card, which is cool that it's actually separate and you don't have to actually cut it off of the card back. But there's no bio or anything on the back or anything else besides the picture making him interesting. Other than that, he came with his instruction manual. In comparison, the Cobra Viper comes with a display stand, well, or foot stand with his name on it. He comes with this backpack, which is nicely detailed. We see he has some more grenades right there, a canteen, and other little details that make it a nice little hiking backpack or utility backpack. He comes with his own gun or his hand rifle, which is nicely detailed, not painted or anything. He comes with a cannon that has an optional stand right here. I guess he could just hold it on his shoulder if he wanted to. It has a missile inside of there. Comes with the figure, which has a vest. I'll show him off later. And it came with a catalog with the other figures that were released around the same time. You won't be able to see it too well because of the glare. And I just realized I have a lot of these. I forgot that I own them. And on the back, we have another mission that they were on, the Jungle Assault. And another, basically this is just advertisement. Here they both are side by side. And as you can see, the Decepticon Viper is slightly shorter. I mean, they probably take up about the same amount of mass, but I don't know. And technically the Decepticon Viper is 2 toys in 1, which is cool. But he would probably be a little bit more solid of a figure. I'm going to start things off by reviewing the Decepticon Viper and show you why I decided to do a crossover review. As you can see, he's part of Cobra and the Decepticons looking at his chest. Now, even though he's called a Decepticon Viper, his face is more reminiscent of the Crimson Guard, the Cobra Crimson Guard, more than the Vipers. Unless there's, I might be forgetting, there may be a mask like this that a certain type of Viper wears, but somebody can tell me in the comments, because I can't think of it. When I looked up Crimson Guard, because I had them in mind as soon as I looked at his face, the mask does look a ton like this. But the detail on this symbol right here is really, really good. I never thought we'd actually get some crossover toys. I wish we would get more, and I wish that bio went into detail of it, but it didn't. Anyway, unlike Power Glide, I don't think Power Glide, his missile rack, I can't remember if his missile rack is painted or not. I might have to dig him up before I end this. But that's nicely painted, like a bronzy gold color right there. And that's definitely, that came out good as hell. Get some silver down here on his thrusters right there. And we'll be able to see more details when I transform him. Articulation, his head can turn. It's a bit hard to turn because it's covered right there, so you gotta like grab it at the tip of his forehead to turn it. His arms on, shoulders on the ball joint, they can go out like that, rotate 360. His elbow bends more than 90 degrees, and that's it for the arm. His hips on the ball joint can kick out like that, kick forward, kind of kick back, but this flap gets in the way. He can swivel right here at his knee and bend at the knee, and a toe can bend forward due to transformation, but no ankle pivot or anything. He's really cool. Now, I wish they would have packaged him with some type of weapons. I mean, he could do this and shoot out these missiles, but he has hands that can hold a 5mm peg gun. Like I have Devastator's weapons right here. He can hold that. Not very well because it's too heavy for him, but he can hold that. Transformation. You want to unpeg right here and here. Rotate his head. Go ahead and take his whole body, like unpeg it right here, bring it forward, peg it into there, bring this down, peg the legs together, bring these wings out to the side, bring the feet forward, and you might have to repeg everything. He has the same problems as Power Glide. Come on. It's like it's kind of fiddly. You have to have it just perfectly right. Twist the wings like this. Yeah, this has the same problem as Power Glide because these legs do not want to stay transformed. And this butt flap thing doesn't peg his legs together. So that doesn't help anything. Go ahead and peg the arms into a little hole that's in his wings. Come on. And now here we have the Decepticon Viper in his alternate mode. And he has that logo again, the Cobra Decepticon logo, right there on the wings. It's nice, it has a silver outline just like the other side. And he has Z06 over there. I believe they think this thing looks like a Cobra Rattler, so that's why they made it a crossover vehicle. But they took a few liberties because it's not exact. You see he has like a gunmetal cockpit. You can kind of still see his face, which is unfortunate right there. And you can see the thrusters a little bit more. All in all, it's decent. He has some fake landing gear here. And a real landing gear. Well, it still doesn't turn, but you can see this wheel right there. So he can go ahead and land. He has a third optional mode where you turn the wings like this. Clip them into place right there. Bring these forward. Bring this down. And now he can be the handgun. Oh no. I like the color scheme. He's a decent robot. I wish his arms were better articulated. But he's really good. And I wish the legs pegged together better in jet mode. But he's still good and he's still decent. Here he is next to Power Glide, and I'll let you see the color scheme differences for yourself. The main difference is the head sculpt, which is completely different. Nowhere near a match for each other. Like, he even has that little gun on the tip right there. So it is nice that they gave us a whole new a whole new head mold. And he does have painted missiles down there, but they're all black. They're nowhere near as intricately detailed like that, where they just painted each individual tip. They just totally covered that in black paint. They didn't paint his crotch. And you can basically see this for yourself. You don't need me to point out everything. Let's go to their jet modes. And here's their vehicle mode comparison. They turn into the same vehicle. Nothing's really different except Power Glide has a little gun at the tip right there of his jet mode. Whereas this is more rounded. Their color scheme couldn't be more different. And I was wrong, there is 2 pegs underneath of this, but the jet mode just feels flimsy no matter what. He has black thrusters, he has silver. No wing detailing or paint. Just plain, well, black cockpit compared to this gunmetal one. He has silver right here, whereas he has this tannish color. And that's that. One thing I want to point out to you, being able to see the fingers and hands, that's unfortunate. But it's really reminiscent of the G1 Power Glide. Anyway, let's get to the Cobra. And here's the Cobra Viper. Just because he doesn't transform doesn't mean I don't have just as many things to cover. Anyway, he has so much detail, it is nuts. Like, look at all those pockets on his vest right there. You can kind of make out the Cobra logo right there. You can definitely see it right there, here, on this side. The helmet. The helmet is amazing. These goggles look like they can actually come off, but they can't. Like I said, I love that chrome right there. You can see my face right there. Here's the back of the helmet. It's really nice. Look at the pockets and detail on his pants. I believe I have the 25th anniversary Viper, and I can't remember whether this is just an updated version of that paint wise, so I haven't looked at it in a while, but more than likely is. But they did a good job on this either way. And yet this body is the more up-to-date G.I. Joe body that they started making back in, I believe it was 2007, 2008 for the 25th anniversary. Anyway, the articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It could get a little bit of pivot and go around 360. Can look down that much, look up that much. The shoulders can come up that far. No bicep swivel or anything. It can rotate 360. The elbow can rotate. You can bend at the elbow, not really 90 degrees. The wrist can hinge in and out right there, which is cool. You can rotate. I'm not sure if this one can. This one, wait, this one hinges down that way and up that way, which is cool. There's a diaphragm joint that can crunch in that much, crunch out that much, and can't really swivel to the side. But let's get him off of this stand. His hips can kick out that far. He has double jointed knees that can bend this much. And these knees feel a little bit cheap. He doesn't have a boot cut or anything, but his foot can rotate, hinge forward that much, and hinge back that much, which is definitely a lot. His hands are sculpted. This hand is sculpted to hold more like regular weapons, like knives and whatnot. Maybe a grenade if one of these could come off. But this hand is more sculpted for the gun. You can see his trigger finger right there. And it's sculpted in such a grip that it's almost like his thumb is non-existent because it's glued to his palm. You basically have to slide this handle down in there, which I did find a little bit difficult. And this finger is possible to go in there. So he's just holding it, but if you fiddle around with that, that's going to fall out very easy. If you mess around, you can put him in a pose like this. He came with this backpack and a little hole in his vest. Let's get his full look going on. So there he is, getting there. Here he is with his backpack. Make sure he has all his weapon needs to kill some Joes. And lastly, he came with this missile launcher, which, like I said, it can be held if you needed to by this little handle right there. I guess he can hold it over his shoulder and shoot. There's another handle right here. And there's a button right here. This opens up. You could open it before pushing the button, or you could just leave it shut and it still shoots out. It opens up right there, which is really cool. Here's the missile. It's mostly plain. I believe they came out with these weapons around the time the first G.I. Joe movie came out. I believe that was called The Rise of Cobra. And they started coming with these missile launchers. So this fits that deal right there. You can see this can hinge forward and back. I'm not sure. Let me see. No, that can't rotate. But he's a really cool figure. Really cool figure. I'm happy he comes with that display stand right there. Or foot stand, I should say. Because he cannot stand up without it. You can get him to stand up, but without ankle pivot, it's really, really tough. But he's really cool and really detailed, and I like him. Now, it's hard to say which toy gives you a better value, because this guy comes with 3 different accessories, and this guy has 3 different play forms: a robot, a jet, and a gun. So it's hard to say who is better. I guess you guys can tell me in the comments. The only thing I can say is I said they would have been about the same price, but about 5 years ago This was the size of a figure that would have been the same as this guy in comparison. So you could see that they did shrink our Transformers while raising the price, which is unfortunate. But anyway, I like being able to show this off to you guys. And if you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe, share, comment. T-Man 978 out of here.